he promoted the company, and this is one thing that people have to understand when it comes to this boxing scenario. When they try to say, or when he made the foolish remark about him saying that he's better than Muhammad Ali. Okay, brother, weight class, character, class, as a man, in every way, Muhammad Ali trumps him. Pardon the pun of Trump.
Ali defeated Foley by a knockout in the 7th round. Immediately thereafter, he walked into the teeth of a monumental decision. He was drafted, and then he refused induction on the grounds of his religious convictions on war.
My conscience won't let me go shoot my brother or some darker people or some poor, hungry people in the mud for big, powerful America and shoot them for what?
Right, right. Rizza.
There was one thing that Muhammad Ali, or should I say, Floyd Mayweather has in common. One thing, and that is not with Muhammad Ali, that is with Cassius Clay. Prior to when this man was resurrected mentally from the grave of ignorance, which is what we refer to being a Negro, meaning you do not have the knowledge of self, you don't have the knowledge of the time, you don't have the knowledge of the devil, you don't have the knowledge of God, you have no idea what is to be done currently. He was Cassius Clay. He was proud, he was prideful. He was all about Cassius. I am the greatest, he would say. I am the greatest.
Yeah.
The moment he was humbled and he went to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he was given knowledge of self, he started to learn about his people, his history, his culture. Name Muhammad, meaning one who was worthy of praise and one who was praised much, which is now the most common name in America. Muhammad Ali, king. He was given that name, and then he started to say, God is the greatest.
And you cannot destroy me like you have other big ministers of his in the past by telling us, oh, you speak good, you should be the leader. See, this is to get me thinking that I'm smart. And as soon as I leave Elijah, you can get me. But as long as I stay with Don Elijah Muhammad, I'm safe. And if Malcolm X had stayed with the man that made him great, taught him everything he knew, today he'd been big, big, big.
Because Africans, known as Moors, had come there and brought it there.
The Nation of Islam was a religious sect that began in Detroit in the 1930s and reached a membership of nearly 800,000 believers by the 1960s. The day after defeating Sonny Liston, Cassius Clay converted to this new faith and took a name he had a hard time making the white media take seriously.
Cassius Clay was my slave name. I'm no longer a slave. What does it mean? Muhammad means worthy of all praises, and Ali means most high.
Malcolm X, spellbinding orator and intellectual of the black movement, became Ali's advisor.
It was Malcolm X who converted him. It was not Elijah Muhammad. I think, you know, Elijah Muhammad was a charlatan to a certain degree. But Malcolm X was a very bright man, a very charismatic man, a very powerful speaker. I used to sit with Malcolm X in the Rizza Hotel up in Harlem, and he would charm you. I mean, he could charm anyone. And there was a lot of Ali in Malcolm X.
God is the greatest. He started to switch it to the original power and started to take it away from self as though you made yourself.
Yeah.
So Floyd Mayweather, has something in common with the old, ignorant, proud version of what later transformed and evolved into who now we refer to as Muhammad Ali. And he forgot who was in his corner, because every time you go on a break per round, you go back and sit your ass down with your people who give you an extra breath, some water, they clean your face off, they tell you where you're doing wrong and what you can do to make it right. But he continues to forget his team, his people in the corner, and then his people, which were in his corner, and we almost leaving them completely. Bye.
Muhammad Ali was the last of a fraternity of amazing men bequeathed to me directly by my dad. Somewhere between me turning 18, 19, or 20, they all seemed to find me somehow, guided by an oath or a promise to my dad, long after him leaving this earth, to search for me. And they did, each one remaining in my life until joining the rest of the heaven's beloved summit of fearless humanitarians. This included Muhammad Ali, whom my dad loved as a little brother, 16 years his junior, and his entrusted friend. There was a double take when I came upon him, a once childhood child, and now looking right into his face. And you know how he is. You know, he gives you that little dare, like, is that you? From the very moment We found one another. It was as if no time had passed at all, despite all of the presumptions of division, despite all the efforts at separation, despite all of the organized distancing.